And we're live. All right. This is Lush Tongue Sound Meditation, Improv and Musings. This is Anime. Um, I am so grateful to be here. And that brings us to our theme for today, in light of the holiday season in which we find ourselves, Thanksgiving, which is a holiday that is quite has quite the fraught origins. Understatement. Let's actually jump into our ohms first. So you can ohm right along with me. Here we go. All right, so let's jump right into Soul Insights update. So, for those of you who are in the book club, you know that we just completed The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. And the next book, well, books we're going to be looking at starting in 2021. So we're taking a bit of a standardized book club hiatus as far as having a chapter every week. It's going to be a little more free from free form going forward. Say that 5 times fast. So the two books I'm going to be sharing with you all are A Course in Miracles, which is a book I started many years ago and I look forward to revisiting again. And also a book called Women Who Run with the Wolves, which is a really fascinating book about the mythology of the wild woman archetype. Um, Basically, the aspect of womanhood that is all about adventure and purpose. um, our own purpose in the world beyond our relationships to other people. So there's many different ways of characterizing feminine archetypes, but two major overarching archetypes that women tend to experience to varying degrees at one point or another in her life. There is the wild woman archetype. That's the sovereign woman, the free spirit going on adventures and being the heroine of her own story. And then there's the virgin archetype, which is not a literal archetype. Virgin meaning a woman who is very much oriented and attuned to the relationships in her life, particularly in terms of romantic partnership. So um, it's less about her being the heroine of her own life per se, and it's more about how she connects with the people in her life. It's more relational than purpose driven, which is a gross oversimplification. But essentially, the wild woman is the one who's, out in the woods, and the virgin is the woman who's, at home with her like partner, taking care of family and that kind of thing. So both very important and powerful archetypes in their own way. Women Who Run with the Wolves focuses on the wild woman. So there you go. So stay tuned with that if you are not already part of the book club, the women's book club that is now open in itself as a self-development club, salon, gathering, collective, group, community. There we go. I think that's the word I'm looking for. So feel free to join. I will put the link in the description. Um, Before I go into gratitude practices, because that's just such a timely subject, I do want to share that I'm grateful for your contributions, past, present, and future. And you're always welcome to make a contribution via Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, all at Lush Tongue. You can join my newsletter, which I send out on Tuesdays, and that link is in the description. And if you want to reach out for me for any opportunities that are some version of online facilitation of voices singing together online, you can reach out to me for that, or one-on-one coaching. And you can do all that via my email, lushtongue@gmail.com. All right, I think that covers all the announcements. So let's go into gratitude. So gratitude is a very powerful state of being and a very powerful practice. I think that gratitude is often conflated with spiritual bypassing. Like, you're in the depths of despair, and a lot of people are socialized to, deny when they're in the depths of despair and just like look toward the light and find the silver lining, something to be grateful for. And that is a powerful practice, but the step that often gets missed is first acknowledging if you are in fact in a state of despair, or anger or rage, or any kind of intense grief, resentment, any of those emotions that tend to be more difficult for us to be with. So first acknowledging where we are and being grateful that you have the capacity to acknowledge exactly where you are right now. So I would say it's a more direct, more authentic relationship to your state of being when you can approach gratitude from where you are, more so than grasping to some other place where you want to be, where you're not right now. Just being where you are and being grateful for what's present for you where you are. And that's a practice in and of itself that can be a challenge for people. So rather than framing gratitude in those moments where you feel anything, but gratitude, those moments where you just, feeling anything from irritation to full on, how do you tap into gratitude in those moments in a way that feels authentic? And like I said, being grateful for having the capacity to acknowledge, because there are less fortunate people, less psychically fortunate, who haven't yet developed, who haven't had a spiritual awakening to being grateful for it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's various stages between denial of presence in any form, be it spiritual bypassing, be it any other kind of repression, be it emotional dysregulation, where, you're always in anger mode or always in grief mode and don't know how to like shake yourself out of that state of being. That's just as unsupportive and unproductive to your highest potential as repression. So, whether repressed or reckless, where you want to be is centered and open and curious. So the next time you find yourself feeling um, kind of yucky, in that moment, acknowledge your yuck and be grateful for having that awareness of the yuck. Like, be grateful for your emotional sobriety, as one wonderful woman named Bridge Feltis always used to say. Maybe she still says it. But yeah, the notion of emotional sobriety, like being able to see things as they are, be grateful that you have that capacity, and be and as you continue to acknowledge where you are and being grateful for for being able to acknowledge where you are, you expand your capacity to embrace, to accept, to surrender what is. So that's one gratitude practice. Another gratitude practice is one that I that was inspired by a woman named Oprah. You might be familiar with her. So many years ago, I received like a what's it Oprah's life class. One of her journals. She sent it. Like, you get a journal. You get a journal. Yeah, everybody has a journal. So I had a journal. Gratitude journal. Grateful journal. Gratitude. And I'd write down 5 things every day. You know, at the end of the day, I'd scan through the day for all the things to be grateful for. And there were times where I even expanded that exercise to, you know, what are the things that sucked that I would like to forgive about today, about, you know, the way life happened today. So like scan through for all the things to purge, and then scan through for all the things to appreciate. Just kind of going through the entire mental picture of your day. But the original exercise was just focusing on gratitude and writing down those things. So that's a good practice to have, a good practice to try out. And if you find yourself more drawn to focusing solely on gratitude, go for it. If you find that it's helpful for you to think in terms of what to release as well as what to appreciate, you can do that. We're all inclusive here. So another gratitude exercise that I like is, I don't remember if I ever mentioned this here before, but there's another woman named Mama Gina who does this really wonderful practice that she shares in one of her books called Mama Gina's School of Womanly Arts. But even if you don't describe yourself as womanly, you can still get a lot out of this book and a lot out of this practice. That's called a trinity. And the way that I characterize a trinity, I think I might have actually mentioned this in a previous broadcast, but can't be said enough. There can't be too much gratitude in this world. So this in the trinity, I like to frame it as uh, gratitude toward yourself, gratitude toward the other, and gratitude for that which is manifesting. So there's the gratitude to the self, gratitude to the other, and it could be another person, or it could just be a situation, a circumstance, be anything really. And then the third is grounded in time, um, gratitude for something that is to come, something that is already unfolding, something that is manifesting, something that is in your vibrational escrow, as Abraham Hicks would say. Um, Something that's in your orbit and is the, you know, is the meteor that's ready to come to you. So those 3 categories are typically known as number 1, a brag. So something that you did, something that you are, something that you emit, something that you evoke, something that you invoke, just something about you that has you bragging on yourself, like giving yourself a pat on the back. And it can be as monumental as, you know, winning a prestigious award, or it can be as simple as I meditated for 2 minutes this morning, or it can be something about your state of being. I brag that I'm happy. It could, or I brag that I did a really great job putting on mascara. Or I brag that I just took a deep breath. Or I brag that hot pink looks really great on me. It can be as it can go in so many different directions in terms of what it is about yourself. And it doesn't have to be something that, you know, your ego or other people would deem as something worthy of a brag. Only you have to decide that it's worthy of a brag. And in my world, pretty much anything's worthy of a brag. It's really just an opportunity for you to develop your self appreciation muscles. Um, and that brings us to the second one, which is simply known as gratitude. And you express gratitude for something external to you. Perhaps a relative, perhaps a friend, a lover, a child, a grandparent, a coworker, a dog, a cat, a snake, um, a building. I'm grateful for the sturdiness of the building in which I live. I'm grateful for this soft carpet under my feet. I'm grateful for the soft grass under my feet when I go outside. I'm grateful for the trees. I'm grateful for this equipment that allows my voice to be amplified. I'm grateful for tongue twisters. I'm grateful for this hard drive. I'm grateful for how fast my nails grow. Actually, that could even fit under a brag because that's about my nails and the nutrients I'm taking in that allow my nails to grow as fast as they do. So I brag. My nails grow fast. Gratitude. Uh, I'm grateful for all the people involved in growing and harvesting all the nutritious food that I eat that allows my nails to grow so long. So the brag is about the self, the gratitude is about someone or something else. And that brings us to the third, gratitude for that which is unfolding, also known as a desire. So, in expressing your desire, you're expressing appreciation for something that is on its way to you. So, I desire, for example, I desire for my new home to have hardwood floors. I love hardwood floors. So I already know that the home that I move into is going to have gorgeous hardwood floors. So that is the Trinity practice, the brag, the gratitude, and the desire, AKA gratitude for self, gratitude for something external, and gratitude for that which is coming to you from the future. All right. Another thing, another gratitude practice to look at, uh, uh, a more relational gratitude practice, especially in this time of year where, you may be in, um, you may be connecting with other people, family during this holiday season, family, friends, etc. I don't know, coworkers, Zoom holiday parties. So in this practice, look for qualities to appreciate in the people that you are interacting with. And you can opt to tell them, like, one thing I appreciate about you is that you always have the funniest stories. One thing I appreciate about you is that you cook the most amazing turkey pot pie using the leftovers. Just notice what to appreciate about the people around you, the people closest to you, as well as the people that you may not know as well. And you can just say it to yourself in your head. One thing I really appreciate about that person is the way they da da da. Um, and you can opt to tell them out loud. One thing I appreciate about you is the way you da da da. And just notice notice how either carrying that thought in your head as you are interacting with them or observing them, um, or as you're in conversation with them, even or if you do opt to tell them out loud, just notice what that does for the dynamic in the space that you're occupying with them. Notice what it does for your heart. Notice what it does for their heart, even if you don't say a word. Just having that thought of what it is that you appreciate about this person. That is a really powerful gratitude exercise. Um, and there may be people who you have a more challenging time being around. That'll be even more interesting to see how you're able to step into a place of gratitude for some aspect, even if it's just like one teeny tiny thing um, about that person that you can find within you and can authentically appreciate about them. Like, I hate 99% of everything about you, but there's one thing that I actually do appreciate about you, problematic family member. And just as an example, fortunately, I don't have a super problematic family member, but if you do, just step into that mind frame of like finding something, like make it a game for yourself. What can you appreciate about that person that might be difficult for you to um, appreciate in general because your personalities just don't mesh or something. So that could be a fun gratitude game for you to embark on throughout this Thanksgiving weekend. And with that, I think we are ready to close out. So once again, all the stuff is in the description that you need to know if you'd like to make a contribution. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. We've got the email list link there. We've got the inquiries email there, lushtongue@gmail.com. And I will put the Soul Insights link afterwards. So let's go into our closing. All right. So a few more things that came up for me is this is the 50th the 50th the 50th 50th episode. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. How time passes. And the past several episodes, I started posting them on YouTube. So if you're a YouTube person, do go to my YouTube page and check them out there. If you're more into the YouTube vibe, I will post my YouTube link in the description as well. Okay, now I think I'm done with all the announcements. So thank you for, rocking along with me all this time and more to be continued. All right, have a wonderful holiday week and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.